Beyond preserving the natural environment, every nation, every civilization has a cultural environment as well. Here in Carthage, the relics of Tunisia's past are as valuable to preserve as any plant or animal species, and the Tunisian people are working hard to document and use this knowledge. The North African nation of Tunisia is a good example of a country with a long cultural history that is just recently being rediscovered, preserved, and shared with the rest of the world, thanks to a little modern technology and a lot of old-fashioned hard work. Toward the end of the 19th century, the French colonial administration decided to map and document the many historical relics that tell the story of Tunisia's long history: the pre-Phoenician period, the Punic era, the Carthaginians, the Romans. Nearly 100 years later, those old French texts have been dusted off and re-examined, this time by the Tunisians themselves, in an effort to reclaim their heritage using modern methods. The result, the first site inventory of its kind in North Africa and the Middle East, covering 300 archaeological sites and 1,000 monuments.
Pour mon pays, ça nous a permis de documenter tout notre patrimoine et de le faire connaître aux autres.
Tunisian archaeologists like Wafa Ben Slimane and Nasser Soltani photograph and study important monuments and cultural sites from the 26 centuries of Tunisian history. Sites such as Carthage, home of the great Punic civilization that gave rise to Hannibal. Duga, an enormous Roman town from before the 1st century. El Jem, site of a remarkable Colosseum larger than that of Rome. Monastir, an ancient Arab fortress, as well as hundreds of other monuments, remains, and ruins.
Alors. Poly, max, trip.
The information they collect is condensed into a computer database and CD-ROM for distribution to fellow Tunisians and to the rest of the world. Francesco Lavecchia is an Italian architect who has been helping the Institute for National Patrimony, or INP, on this project.
I tunisini finalmente compiono un'operazione che io dico romantica, bella, che è quella di loro, con i loro uomini, con i loro mezzi, attraversano il deserto, le montagne, la costa e ricostruiscono loro, con il nostro aiuto per carità, ma loro ricostruiscono il disegno culturale e finalmente se ne impossessano.
Nous avons une civilisation plusieurs fois millénaire et chaque période a laissé un grand patrimoine et nous avons des milliers de sites archéologiques et historiques dont certains posent des problèmes de préservation et de conservation.
Like Tunisia's history, this effort started in Carthage. For 35 years, Abdelmajid Ennabli, the site director at Carthage, has tried to convince the Tunisian government to do something about the encroachment of urban Tunis into the remains of the ancient city of Carthage.
Il faut partir de l'idée que le nom de Carthage est connu, très connu, parfois même plus connu que la Tunisie. Et c'est un site qui, au lendemain de l'indépendance, risquait, avec le mouvement d'urbanisation, il risquait de partir et de disparaître sous la construction.
But the need for economic development had always won out. By 1985, the suburbs of Tunis had crept right up to the center of the Carthaginian remains.
On a dû faire appel d'abord à l'opinion gouvernementale, puis à l'opinion et surtout à l'opinion internationale. Il fallait donc montrer que ce site méritait d'être défendu.
They succeeded. An international campaign by 15 countries to promote the importance of Carthage, not just to Tunisia, but to the world, resulted in a rediscovery of knowledge among Tunisians about the value of this site. In the 1960s, preservation laws were passed and enforced to keep urbanization at bay and preserve the site as a national park. At Duga, the magnificent, sprawling Roman remains lay open over the years to be crawled over by children and grazed by herds. The site began to deteriorate. But now the site is being enclosed, organized, and excavated in search of new treasures.
La cité de Duga a gardé un urbanisme foncièrement humide.
Tunisian students flock here to learn about Duga from Mustafa Kanous, the site director.
C'est le fruit d'une double politique, une politique menée au niveau de l'éducation, de l'enseignement dispensé dans nos écoles et dans nos lycées. C'est pour faire découvrir à nos jeunes, à nos élèves, leurs racines. Et également, c'est le fruit d'une politique culturelle pour faire prendre conscience aux Tunisiens et surtout aux jeunes de l'importance de retrouver leurs racines et de connaître leur passé.
In El Jem, the Colosseum is being restored so visitors, mostly Tunisians, can appreciate it better. And with the research organized into a database, it makes spreading this cultural knowledge much faster and easier. It is putting Tunisia on the forefront of cultural preservation in the North Africa and Middle East region, and enriching the world's knowledge base of the history of civilization.
En connaissant bien leur histoire, ils ne peuvent être que plus forts pour affronter les problèmes.
Se un paese che non sa dove sono i suoi monumenti è un paese che non può affrontare lo sviluppo in modo corretto.
Perhaps the greatest value of the project is in giving ordinary Tunisians the kind of knowledge more valuable than any other kind, knowledge of who they are.